What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Frank Warren. Frank Warren snaps back at Tony Bellew, okay? And he fires back saying Dubois didn't quit. They protected him and that it was the right call under pressure. Dubois has taken time off with Talk Sports and Warren hinting a 6 months break for mental and physical reset. He also said that Tony Bellew is a fucking wanker. And let me counterpunch, man. Shout out to Frank Warren, though, still. Whatever it is about Daniel Dubois, he's always had a special place in his heart for Daniel. You know what I mean? And it shows you that he didn't give up on Daniel. He's not giving up on Daniel. But then he's too young for you to just drop Daniel cold turkey because not everyone is Alexander Usyk. And I think people forget that. I think people need to see how good Usyk is versus how bad Dubois is. You see? Dubois just can't handle anyone like that. It would be different if there was somebody to compare the performance to in terms of beating Usyk, but no one has done that. So if nobody has beaten Alexander Usyk, why the fuck are we all mad at Daniel for? You know what I mean? Because this is the reality. This is the reality of everything. If Daniel quit in his hearts of hearts, if he quit and he said, you know what, he looked at his dad, he looked at his corner maybe, and he said, fuck it, and he sit there and he waited a beat, then a beat, then a beat, and then by around 8 or 9, he decided to get up. He didn't want to fight. But what's the reality of that? What would have happened if he did get up? He was only going to get his ass beat again. He was only going to take more punishment, because I do believe that if he did quit, he quit knowing that he was hurt to a certain degree, that he couldn't perform. You know what I mean? Now, the problem was the way he walked his ass to that corner. I mean, he could have passed the fucking DWI alcohol screen. You know what I mean? He could have passed one of those, walking the line, right? But, I do think, though, he would have just been, that was the beginning of the end, if anything, because Usyk was going to go in and wreck shop. He was going to beat the dog Billy shit out of Daniel Dubois. He was. And I think Daniel knew that. So everybody says Daniel quit. Yeah, I think Daniel is smarter than a lot of people give him credit for. He knew, he laid his ass down on that canvas because he knew if I get up quick, I'm going to get my ass knocked right back down faster. Just as fast, because he knows this ass whooping is going to come, and let me cut this shit short. Just like Frank saying, they made the right call. It was this, it was that. Look, that man had already went down twice back to back, just like Sean Porter did. Why do you think Kenny Porter threw that towel in for Sean? Sean did get up. But the thing is, Sean would have been beaten more. And who needs access? Punishment. But you guys tell me what you think of Frank Warren calling Tony Bellew a fucking wanker. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch.